Okay, we're continuing on with mountains. What I'm going to do, I almost forgot to put this little hillside right here in. So we're just going to take our trusty old palette knife here and we're going to build this up. Like I said, there are no mistakes and we always can change things a little if we want to. There's no big deal. You're creating your little world, and your little world can be how you want it to be. And we're just going to go on down here a little bit more. And I think we might just build this up a little bit here too. We don't want that to be quite as wide either. And we're just going to go in here a little bit. We're just kind of building it up and going with it as we see fit. We're just going to go over here a little bit and go right in there. And then you just want to draw it down a little bit with your palette knife there. We want to lay on our color, make it look nice. We can have fun with our paintings. Nothing's set in concrete. Nothing's ever set in concrete. We're going to go with a little bit of darkness right over in here. I got a little bit too much of bright over here. So we're just going to lay a little bit of darkness down right there. And go up a little bit there. There we go. Now, we're just going to go over in here. Whoop, we got a streamer there. Can't have that, can we? Okay, we're just going to build this up a little bit right in here. Build this over here a little bit. We're going to go with our black and get some more black right in here. We just didn't quite get that area right there like I wanted it. So we're just going to remedy that. We're going to take a little bit of blue and we're going to lay a little bit of blue in here. We want a little bit of blue to show on our mountain right here. And we might lay a little bit of blue over in here as well. Just a little bit more. I just feel like it needs a little more blue right in there. And we might put a little bit right in here. And I actually got black instead of blue. But that's okay. If that area wants to be a little more black than it is blue, that's okay with me. We're just going to lay a little bit of blue in there. There we go. And we lay a little bit down here. Okay, we're just going to go with our palette knife. And we're going to go across there just a little. Okay, now, I believe we're going to take a little bit of red. We're going to lay a little bit of red right in here as well. We want to give this a little bit of highlight too. Gotta have our highlights. Okay. Now, we're going to go with just a little green. Which the green doesn't show up much if you put it on and you got some black on it, does it? There we go. Okay. I believe we might be close enough to being done with our palette knife there. We're going to grab our trusty old fan brush, and I believe what we're going to do, we're going to go in with a little bit of green, and we're going to put a little bit of green over here. This little tree right here wants to have a little bit of substance to it there. There we go. And you just want to blend it until it just kind of looks natural. And then you want to blend that a little bit to where it looks natural too. Your stems or branches, whatever, you don't want them to show out too much. You want to kind of blend them at the ends, just to kind of bring it to life. And we want to go with, and then we want to go into here, blend this a little bit, bring it to life. This is what brings your painting to life, and we want to kind of vanish it up in there. Now, I think we're going to go with a little bit of green. And what we want to do is we just kind of want to go in. And where we've got trunks, or branches, trunks, whatever, we just kind of want to go in and blend them a little bit just so they don't show out too much, so they're not overwhelming. You want to make sure you got enough green where you're putting it. You just want to go and make it more subtle, make it to where it looks natural. See how the bottom and the top of the branches, you don't want them to overpower it. You just want to go in and make it look natural. Make it look like it's supposed to be the way it is. Little details is what makes your painting very special. Now I believe over here where we wound up with too much black, we might go in here and we might just kind of go across and make that more subtle. Actually, we're going to go in here and do a little bit here. Just kind of make this, just make it blended a little bit here. We just want to give it a feeling like there's a little bit of grass or a little bit of interest here. We just want to give it some details, make it look like you spent a lot of time creating your little world. We might put a little bit of light right here, because what's right here is there's a rock right there. We just got a nice little rock right there. Now I believe we might grab a little bit of red. We might give it a little bit of punch right here. Just go with a little bit of red. Kind of make us a little bush right here. There we go. And I believe we're going to go with a finer brush. We've still got a little bit of runaway paint over here, which we don't really want to have. So we're just going to have to go in and make a little change here. just going to use a little bit of the black. We're going to go with a little bit of, we're just going to use some of the black to just give it a kind of a shadow effect at the end. And that's all right. Sometimes you wind up with things that are maybe not what you had in mind at the beginning, but they work. And we just want to give a little bit of feeling like we got some water here. That just looks like it's kind of a shadow that's coming from a reflection here, which is a good thing. Now, we just want a little more white. We want to give it a feeling like it's water. And there we go. Kind of blend it a little bit, not too much though. Now, we are getting very close. And I believe we're going to have a nice little painting. What we might do, we might add, not with that we're not. We might add a little bit of, just a little bit of branch here. Kind of showing a little bit of detail there. But our details is what is going to make our picture be special. Okay. Okay. Now, we're going to grab our little fan brush again. And we want to get a little bit of water on it, but we don't want too much water. What we're going to do is we're going to grab a little bit of dark, because we don't want our red to show out too much, and we also want to settle it a little bit, and we want to make our stem be not quite as noticeable. There. And we might go with a little bit of dark at the bottom of there, just to kind of add in those final details that will make it pop. We just want to add a little details, a little bit of shadow on the bottom, just to give it that extra, little bit of extra pop. And make our leaves just look spectacular. See how your details all tie it together and make your painting look nice. Now, I do believe we may go with just a little green on the bottom. I just feel like that tree almost looks like it's just floating there. Didn't look like right to me exactly. we're going to settle this down a little bit. And I believe we're going to get our little brush back again. I do believe, yes. Now, I think we might go with a little more white and go right at the edge here. Right at the edge. And we might go with a little bit up there as well. We just want to give it an extra little oomph. But do you see how the negative space creates shape? The negative space creates shapes. The flow that we've got, the reflection into the water, and the perspective, how the mountains back here are further away. Those are closer. Those are even closer. These are more defined. Those are a little bit less, and those are a little bit less. We create perspective, which looks like it goes into the picture, and our flow goes right around it. I do believe we are close enough. I think we'll take a little bit of gray, and I think we may sign our name here. But I do see one thing we might do real quick. We're going to grab our fan brush again if we can find it. And I did. Okay. We're going to do something very quick. I believe over here it needs just a little bit of green at the bottom, because our tree right there just looks like that it's floating. And we don't want it to float, do we? And then we're just going to go with a little bit of grass look. We don't want to cover her name, though. Okay. We just go with a little bit of grass right in here. A little bit of grass right over in here. A little bit right there. Okay. We'll go with just a tad of black, because I got a little bit too much green there, but that's okay. We just don't want it to totally overtake the picture. Just got a little bit too much green there. With our black, we just going up a little bit. Okay. I believe we're close enough.